Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. I'm SirFelixTheCat, and this is podcast number 9. And today with me, as always, I have Hawk. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. How about you?
Oh, wonderful. So, instead of rambling for a minute, I'm going to get into some news because we had some very, very big news. Let me share my screen.
Breaking.
Yeah, breaking news. So, like, in the past half hour or so, gunshots are reported fired at Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania. He apparently, it looks like he was shot in the ear. You can see blood up on his ear. There's blood coming down his face. He's alive. He was quickly rushed off back to his super limo, whatever you call it.
The Beast.
Yeah, the beast. Well, the president's is the Beast. I don't know what his is called.
The mini Beast.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a thing, and that's possibly going to lead the world into, or at least the country, into some danger. Because once he got up, as you can see here, he's pumping his fist, and he was shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." And those words right there are terrifying, because that's the signal of go to war.
Yeah.
That's at least that's the way I see it.
Oh, that's the way I think a lot of his people are going to see it too.
Yeah, so we got that going on.
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, another wonderful day in America.
Another typical day.
Yep. So I'm going to get on to funny news now. SpaceX rocket accidentally leaves company Starlink satellites in wrong orbit.
Wait, like, is it still Earth orbit, or like, did they leave it like in high orbit when they meant to leave it in low orbit, or?
I didn't get a chance to read. Let's see. Last off from California, carrying 20 Starlink satellites, several minutes into the flight. The upper stage engine malfunctioned. Oh yeah, so it's just in a lower orbit. Or no, boosted them to a higher orbit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're gonna, they'll still be there.
It'll be there, but probably won't function and will outlast all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was wonderful news. It wasn't Boeing this time, so,
But
new things.
It stayed in the sky, so it couldn't have been Boeing.
Yeah, those are the two news things I had. It's all I've seen today. That Trump story kind of took me by surprise before we got on.
Yeah, it's like you're left kind of dumbfounded by a story like that. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's a story you got to take a second to recuperate from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So for gaming news, we do have something fun there. Let's see if I get a window up for it. We're going to go on to another company that we just love so much. Or brand, I guess we should say.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. So Xbox and Game Pass. So anybody who plays games, I'm sure they've heard there was a pretty big change announced for the platform. If you currently are on the low tier of Game Pass, nothing's really going to affect you right now. But if you're new to the platform, you are not going to be able to get that tier. You're going to have to go for standard, which gives you online access and does not give you any day one games in your free catalog. If you want to get those, you're going to have to move up to ultimate, which is $20 a month. Also, if you play it on PC, your price is going up by like $2. But you get to keep your day one games. So, I mean, if you play it on PC, that's probably the way to go. It's cheaper. I think it's only like $12 a month.
I mean, as a PC player first, I gotta say, if you're doing, like, I could see economically why you would do Game Pass on PC. I get it. But I just think it's like the worst platform to do it on. Especially when basically every place you could buy video games digitally, at least on the PC, you have a trial time where you can play it and then refund it within like 2 hours and a week after purchasing it. So I think you could test anything you want, play it, and then give it back if you don't want it. So I just think Game Pass is kind of pointless on PC.
Yeah, I think I read something previously. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, Game Pass for PC is not supporting mods. They're, from what I know, they're going against it. They're trying to fight it.
As far as I understood it, with games like Starfield, for instance, like let's look at BGS, Bethesda Game Studios games. They're pretty easy to access all the files and stuff, pretty easy to mod. But I could be wrong because I don't have Game Pass. But if you have a game like Starfield or any moddable game, the files that you'd normally be able to access to mod those games are just inaccessible. So yeah, that's fun.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I understand when Nintendo does it because they don't have, you're not supposed to be able to play it on your computer. So when you hear about them fighting mods, like, okay, it's logical. They don't want you to play their stuff unless it's on their system. That kind of makes sense. That's absolutely insane. Like, I'm sure for the other games like Skyrim and stuff for Bethesda, you probably still get like that same menu that you get on PlayStation when you pop your disc in, that you can download their pre-approved mods or whatever.
Yeah, Bethesda has its own, they have a lot of mods on their own website, which is what that is through consoles, and so you'll definitely have access to that. Some of the biggest mods for those games are also there, so I mean you can still do it, but if you want anything else or any like the DLC sized mods and stuff like that, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Yep. So that's a big. I mean, that's kind of a letdown. Because I don't play Xbox, but on PlayStation, I would love to be able to play London when it drops. Fallout London.
Oh yeah. Well,
because that just looks glorious. It's coming up soon, I think. They had a whole release date for Steam.
Oh, they actually got past all the shenanigans with the update?
Yeah. It still says their original date of 2022. But they did have something planned. Yeah, it got pushed back in April when that update released, kind of screwing things up. Yeah, they did have a date. It's lost in oblivion now.
Yeah, that from what I read, that update really screwed them. Because Bethesda, being Bethesda, did not talk to them at all.
Yeah.
So there was no communication. There was no like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how you could get around it or work with it and stuff. Or wait, weren't they going to just roll it back? Like their version is going to be just a lower version?
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be rolled back and be a safe thing where the update didn't really screw them up too much because they could just quickly go back.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yep. Yeah, that was really all we had for gaming news.
Yeah.
Gaming conversations. But now we have another fun topic to get into, our main topic of the day, which is the marvelous marvels of Marvel Comics and the MCU.
Dot.
Yeah, like basically all the issues with the MCU.
Yeah, and I know you really like Marvel. I mean, I think Marvel's pretty cool too.
Yeah,
but you're the way bigger fan of Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel is wonderful for the comics. They're all very unique, even like the other universes outside of the main one. You have the Ultimates universe, which they wrapped that one up, and it got a little weird because some of them got transported to the main universe, and their stories are still canon, which that's whatever. One thing that's kind of hard for people to get into with Marvel is the fact that their main canon has been going on since day one. Like Spider-Man, going all the way back to the beginning of Marvel Comics, is the same Spider-Man. Like It's all one stupid long story, and they might just randomly throw in like a quick little throwback to a very early one of their comics, and you kind of either have to know or you're gonna have to look it up.
Yeah.
Or it'll just go right over your head and you just won't care.
Yeah. Well, there's like what, 80 something years, or like how long has it been going on?
Forever. Dawn of time. Let's see.
Close to a lifetime.
1939.
Yeah. That is a lifetime. Yeah.
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 So, just a little bit.
just a couple years.
Yeah, but then we had like this new kid come onto the block, and this young kid is called Disney, and they bought up Marvel, and they started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and this was set in the universe of Earth 1999, and that's whatever, because I mean you can do whatever you want with the new universe. Nobody's really gonna complain about that. Like, yeah, it's not the main universe, so who cares? You can make Captain America fly if you want to. It'll be weird, and people are going to be like, it's probably not right, but, it's a new universe. Anything can happen. I mean,
it's where you experiment.
Yeah, our universe is, or our Earth is in the Marvel universe. We just happen to be one where they understand superheroes just don't exist. I really like that, because that puts like everything inside of Marvel's universe. DC's inside Marvel's universe and all that. And then Marvel's inside DC's, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But then after a few movies, I didn't know this until today, but the MCU then decided to be like, nah, we're not going to do 1999. We're going to put them in 616, which is the main Marvel universe. And so all these stories that we've seen in these movies, they're now technically canon. Which then draws in the question of the comic books and their canon, which is very much different in a lot of ways.
That's what I was going to say. Like, that's the question. Like, how are they going to, I mean, have they even tried to address the fact that the Marvel movies, I know next to nothing about what I'm talking about in terms of the lore. But are they going to address the fact that the Marvel movies have just kind of like wiped certain things, or have been totally different, so you have conflict with certain things? Like, have they even tried to address that?
Not that I know of. All I've seen is that Kevin Feige, whatever his name is, that he's just confirmed that it's 616 and it's canon.
And how was the general fan reaction to that?
A lot of people were quite confused. They're like, what happened to this? And some people had it backwards. They're like, oh, Marvel moved from 616 to 1999. It's like, it's the other way around, guy. But it doesn't seem like people like that too much, because that just throws everything out of whack. Every movie we've seen is now not what we've read.
Yeah, and you were talking about like the Captain America speech, how that changed.
Amazing Spider-Man 537. Cap gave the greatest speech of his life to Spider-Man, who was double guessing everything about everything because of what others say. I mean, he had like the news and everything after him saying all these lies about him. But Cap talks to him and tells him, doesn't matter what the press says, doesn't matter what politicians or the mob says, doesn't matter if the whole country decides something that is wrong is right. This nation was founded on one principle above all else, the requirement that we stand up for what we believe in, no matter the odds or the consequences. When the mob and the press and the whole world tell you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth and tell the world, no, you move.
That's good. I like
it's an epic little speech he gave.
Especially for Spider-Man. Like, I love, because I mean, like you talked about this before, Spider-Man could just like wipe the floor with almost anybody.
Yeah.
So like to have someone who's that powerful doubt himself to that degree, and then to have Cap be Cap and just kind of bring him back to his center.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool contextually, and it sounds like a really cool speech too. So that's disgusting that they messed that up. Yeah,
they brought it into the MCU in the Civil War movie. It's at Peggy Carter's funeral, and Sharon Carter says that for her eulogy, and it's just like, why why is she the one saying this and Cap's listening to it? Peter's not even involved in it. Peter Parker's nowhere near this. I mean, they're both in New York, I believe, at the time. So, I mean, he's in the same state.
It's just a eulogy, like no greater context or anything?
No, it's just something that Peggy Carter had told her when she was a kid.
That's dumb. That's a huge waste.
Yeah. I mean, I was upset when I first heard it before I even knew this whole 616 nonsense.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's cool that they mentioned it. A little nod and a wink, but that'd be better if it was set in a different universe.
Yeah. Like, that's it. And like you said, and like we talked about before, like, I did not know that the entirety of, like, Spider-Man, for instance, was in just one universe.
Yeah.
I know that there are alternate universe spider people, spider guys, spider chicks, etc. And there's alternate universes, versions of basically everybody. And so alternate universes are your playground to do, like, the weird stuff, the off-the-wall stuff. Like for my favorite Spider-Man one is again, I'm almost clueless, but it's like the 1940s.
The Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, that one. That one's so cool. But it's okay if the MCU was its own thing. It was its own universe. I mean, it's in the name, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
But to have them kind of usurp the official timeline is just, it's what Disney does. We talked about that before the show, where, like, Disney, and they did this with Star Wars. Disney comes in and they're like, well, we want to make our own stuff. We think that stuff that exists already isn't good enough, or we could do better. And so that old stuff just doesn't exist anymore. It's not canon.
Yeah. Yep.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yep. Couldn't just be like Zack Snyder and just make your own universe.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, He wanted to do Star Wars. He wanted to do 40K. They all said no. So he made his own universe that is just definitely inspired by both of them. No one could question that. But, like, brief aside, I gotta say, I do want to watch the R-rated versions of those two movies, because I think they might actually be pretty good. And if they're longer too, you said they're going to be longer.
I haven't seen any confirmation of that, but I'm just assuming from the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yeah,
since that was like 2-3 hour movies or something like that.
Yeah,
that I'm assuming these are both going to be like 2.5-3 hours long.
I just want greater context, I guess, from those movies, and more character, like, exploration / development. I think
that part was confirmed, the character development.
Okay.
And, like, talking about them more, being more involved with them, because, like, the way they did everybody, even the General Titus, I think his name was.
I think it's to the gladiator guy.
Yeah. That way they went through him is just kind of disappointing in the movie, because it was just like, okay, we heard a little bit about him. He was a war hero. Now he's a gladiator. We're gonna wash him up, and now he's fighting with us. That was it. Yeah.
I mean, or just like the chick with the swords. Like, she looks really cool. She's got cool moves and stuff, but, like, okay, she's some chick with a bad past. Yeah. That's all you really know about her in the first cut. But I want more character exploration and stuff like that, because I'm past being mad, like, my knee-jerk reaction of this is just like 40K at home. I'm past my knee-jerk reaction there, so I do want to like the universe. I just need more from it, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, with Marvel and the MCU, I have ever since reading that, I have many gripes. One thing I did like about that is the Netflix shows are set in the same universe as the movies. So, I mean, that's cool that they're part of the main canon. I'll take that. I mean, their stories did change some, but at least they were done well the whole way through.
Yeah.
And, like, some Captain America movies were done well, or all the Captain America movies were done well. This new one, Brave New World or whatever it's called. I'm hoping it's going to do well. Like it looks cool. They did recast General Ross, forgetting his name, Ross, but they replaced him with Indiana Jones. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I saw his face and heard his voice mostly. Now I want this new Captain America movie to be good. I really like Anthony Mackie. I think he's a good actor. I think he works for Captain America, like taking up the mantle and stuff.
Yep.
I am excited for that. Like, of the Marvel movies, the Cap movies are my favorite. I think they're just kind of a cut above the rest of them. And we talked about that before, like at work and stuff. They're just better. And I think some people misunderstood some of the Cap movies too. I mean, am I wrong in that? Like, it's like I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like Winter Soldier or Civil War.
Yeah, when they say that they don't like those two, I question it. I can understand not liking the first one because they do that whole like action montage, and that's a very old way to do movies. It kind of fit because it is old.
Yeah, it fits.
But I can see people being turned off by that, even though the action they did was just dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, not liking Winter Soldier, that's weird because that has the best fight scene ever, the elevator scene.
Yep.
Does anybody want to get off? That was fantastic. And then Civil War, I guess people could not like it because they did change the story some, which that would have to be then understanding it's in the 616, which I don't think they confirmed it was in the 616 until the second Doctor Strange movie.
Okay. Oh
yeah, the Multiverse of Madness.
Strange. I like Doctor Strange stuff too. Those movies weren't terrible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's also got a really good actor.
Yeah.
Like a good lead. And the first movie had what's his name? Action guy that I like. Scott Adkins.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was awesome.
Now I think part of why people might not like the Cap movies, specifically probably Winter Soldier, I believe is just because of the weird and total lack of media literacy that we're seeing today. Like, people just don't get stuff. Like, for instance, Oppenheimer. Okay, a lot of people watched Oppenheimer and thought that they came away from that movie thinking it was pro nukes and pro America. It's a pretty common thing apparently. When in reality, I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but if you know anything about Oppenheimer, you know that he was very conflicted about what he did, about how he played his part in the creation of a device that he thought would destroy the world, and thought it would to his death. I mean, we still have plenty of time to destroy the world with with nukes. And he was very conflicted about that, and conflicted about using it on Japan too. But people walked out of that movie thinking that it was pro-nuke. So I think with Winter Soldier, if I remember right, it's the one that has like elements in the US government that are like rogue and working with the Red Skull guy.
Yeah, the Hydra. They were Hydra undercover.
They're working with Hydra, and it's like the American government is compromised and all this stuff. There's a lot of political stuff in that movie, and I think people just kind of either took the wrong thing from it, or I don't know, maybe they didn't see the commentary that it was trying to make.
Yeah. Yeah, because that movie is fantastic. That one, Civil War. Yeah. Civil War, I mean, it was a... See, now that I know it's 616, I have my gripes with Civil War. Just because that brings in Spider-Man again. Spider-Man idolizes Captain America. Always did.
Yeah.
So now he doesn't really idolize Captain America. He idolizes Iron Man. And he's fighting on his side. Why? Why would he go up against Cap then? Like, that just makes no sense. You have to throw out canon in order for that to be a thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of these stories in the movies, if it is the main canon, then you have to like rewrite stuff that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to write out stuff that actually happened in the old canon. It's so dirty, dude.
Yeah.
I hate when Disney does this stuff.
Yeah, that was just disastrous. I mean, they could at least come out like they do with Star Wars and said, "Oh, well, now that's going to be legacy." Yeah.
It's a legend.
Or legends. Yeah. But they didn't even do that. They were just like, "Oh, we're just going to do this and not care."
Yeah, just nah. Nuh-uh. Nope. Now, I mean, another gripe that I have with the movies from the standpoint of cinema is that they're created for the largest denominator. Like the movies are made without any thought for the most part. This is why I do really like Civil War and Winter Soldier, because those are pretty thought-provoking movies.
Yeah.
But the majority of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just spectacle and popcorn fun thriller, which is fine. It has its place. I'm not saying the movies should have never been made or anything. I just think there shouldn't have been as many of them, and that they should have kind of tried to go a different route with it. But it's poisoned the greater film landscape, at least for larger films, for like what 20 years now. Like it's
since Iron Man.
It's been so long, and we've seen this happen before with like cowboy Western movies. Cowboy Westerns were the only thing that you could see in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Maybe not 70s, but like 50s and 60s. So it was about 20 years where it's just cowboy Westerns, and they eventually got really stupid too. But that eventually stopped, and we grew out of it. I think we're basically at the point where we're growing out of Marvel now. But I don't like what it's done to the greater media landscape, and how it seems like a bunch of movies are just dumbed down now because they have to appeal to really China. Like Anthony Mackie. I saved that quote that I talked to you about before. Anthony Mackie said, quote, "The evolution of the superhero has meant the death of the movie star. And that's the fear now, because now you're making movies for 16-year-olds and China, and that's it."
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. It's a shame. It's destroyed quite a bit. And also it's also some actors get into it because the MCU is huge, so you're going to get a lot of eyes on you.
Yeah.
But then they end up not liking it because you yourself are not a star. Like Jeremy Renner, I don't know if he agrees with this, but he's not a star. Hawkeye is.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like I'm surprised this really hasn't hit Chris Hemsworth, because he's one of the biggest names in the MCU. He's Thor. He's still around.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'll sometimes, if I forget his name, I'll say Thor, then I'll remember Chris Hemsworth. But like that's actors used to want to avoid that. Will Smith didn't take on the role of Neo because he didn't want to be classified as Neo.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of actors, I've noticed like more older school actors, and by that I mean like 80s, 90s, early 2000s, they seem to really want to avoid that. Not all of them, but there's a good deal of them that are just like really mad if you associate them with a character. And from one side, I could see, you get a role as as a certain character, and then you're typecast for the rest of your career.
Yep.
Where like you are always going to be whatever you were in that first big movie, just with a different name and aesthetic, effectively.
Yeah.
And I could see how that would get pretty annoying pretty fast. But when it comes to like fan association and stuff, I think it'd be kind of cool. Like if I played a Thor or something, people are like, "Oh, look, it's Thor." Yeah, man, I'm Thor.
Yeah, there are the ones that don't like it. I kind of wonder how other actors really do feel about it that are part of it, like Scarlett Johansson or something like that. How does she really feel about oh god, now I'm just thinking about that and all the errors. She was killed off, but yet Black Widow wasn't killed off like that.
The conflict
Yeah,
Lore
that is
conflict.
just that's gonna make me mad. Just the more I think about it, that is frustrating.
Well, and how long ago did they make that announcement?
I'm not sure. When
Because you said you just found out about it, but I want to see like when they actually put that out.
did it become part of the 616? It was confirmed in the Doctor Strange movie. Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness.
The second one, okay. That was a while ago.
Yeah, and that follows the canon of what happened in the first Doctor Strange movie, which is set in the same universe. Well, set in the main universe that he starts off in Multiverse of Madness, not the crazy multiverse part.
Well, now here's a question, okay, for the resident Marvel expert. What if we could explain all these inconsistencies in lore with like some Doctor Strange magic shenanigans or something like that? Is that possible?
Doctor Strange does travel through the multiverse. There's only one Doctor Strange.
Oh,
unlike where there's other universes where there's multiple Spider-Men, multiple Captain Americas, and all that nonsense. Yeah, there's only one Sorcerer Supreme. So, I mean, you kind of could, but they don't. Like they they saw an opportunity to be like, oh, we can fix this. Nah, I'm good.
No, it's too much work. No. Yeah. There's another gripe I have though. The Sorcerer Supreme. I think that's a dumb title, dude. I love Doctor Strange. He's really cool. I love magic. Magic is always dope. But Sorcerer Supreme? It's like on the edge of cool.
I mean, back when he was first introduced, I could see it. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a dope name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just aged poorly because now you think of it and it's like he is the Taco Supreme.
Yeah, the Taco. Just call him like the Primus Magi or something. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah, he's just the Master of Magic.
Or even that, Master of Magic. That'd be cool. So that's a gripe I have. I have stupid gripes. I have really stupid gripes with a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff. I'm very picky. But another stupid gripe I have is Thanos' sword. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Thanos' sword. Okay. From what movie did you see that in? It's like the last two, right?
I think it was in Endgame. I don't know if it was in the first one because he pulls it out, I believe, in the battle.
Yeah. Yeah. And that big battle they're having with everybody. Yeah. When Cap picks up Mjolnir.
Yep.
But that was dope. That was actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
But that sword, dude. That sword, the god awful abomination of weapon design that is that sword. It's got two blades, with a very tiny single hand handle. And then it's got one blade facing one direction, another blade facing the other direction. And nothing about it makes sense. Now, he holds it for a second and spins it with his hand.
Yeah, let me pull up a picture for it right now. All right, so there we go. That's the best view of it.
Yeah, you can actually open that up in a new tab and it should be bigger. Hopefully, unless the resolution is super small. All right, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go under Reddit.
Yeah,
but yeah, so you see how the top blade the blade he's pointing with is facing up.
Yeah.
The blade closer to his body is facing down. That makes no sense. Okay, so first of all, if he's attacking with it the way he's holding it now, he's going to have to swing upwards in order to hit anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And when he swings upwards, he might not hit himself with the second blade on the back, but if he flips that around and swings downward, he's got his other blade digging into him every swing. he holds it at some point and holds it out like a closed fist, holds it in front of him, and it spins like a helicopter. Because when you said it's a reference to that stupid helicopter.
Yeah, from the old Spider-Man comic.
Yeah. So I don't see any mechanism on this that implies that it should be able to spin, but let's just chalk that up to space magic. Okay.
Well, let's just say that he's an action figure and his hand just rotates automatically.
Yeah, it just rotates automatically.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Donatello toy that did that back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, he held his bow staff out, and if you press the button on the back of his shell, he spins his hand.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. But no, so it apparently spins. I don't see any mechanism for that. Let's chalk that one up to space magic. That's fine. But the blade handle is way too short, even for him. Like, look at his hand holding that thing.
Yeah.
How are you going to maneuver with that thing? The cross guards dig into your hands. They prevent any kind of movement. I don't know. From the perspective of practical weapons, this thing makes zero sense. And we both share the gripe of Thanos doesn't need a sword.
Yeah. It's pointless to him. Like, he can just kill anybody with his hands. He doesn't even need the gauntlet most of the time. He can just kill everybody with his hands.
Yeah. And then his armor, dude. The armor he's wearing there is not the armor we saw him in for the majority of the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can go back to that.
There it is. That's kind of it.
No. Who knows? They changed things.
But that made me mad too, man.
Yeah.
That armor was dope. Oh, perfect. Look, it's Thanos.
Yeah.
That's Thanos. Baby Thanos.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Now, if it was longer and you could actually do that, like it was long enough to separate, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool. Still stupid, but cool. That'd be cool.
He still doesn't need it. It's pointless to add to it.
Or even like, look, if you take that handle and make it like 4 times as long as it is at the moment, you'd kind of have the double-bladed sword from Knights of the Old Republic, for instance.
Yeah.
You'd have something like that to hold it kind of like a staff instead of a sword. That'd be okay. Stupid, but okay.
I don't know what's going on here.
What, a Thanos Lego? What is that? What is that?
I don't know, but Scarlet Witch looks dope. I like that.
Yeah, she does. She does, actually. That's another gripe I have, though. So Scarlet Witch, I like the actress. I forget her name. I think the actress who plays her is really good.
Yeah, the Olsen.
Whatever Olsen. I think all the actors in the movies are pretty good, but I think the material that they have it's hard to take seriously.
Yeah.
Because of all the CGI and stuff like that too. Like it's at least for me. I don't know. It's hard to suspend my disbelief when I watch those movies. Oh, that's so stupid. Look at that.
Yep.
Look at that. No, just ditch the sword. We're talking. Isn't Thanos a god?
No, he's I can't remember his race. Let's see.
The purple ball chins.
I gotta get off pictures. Is a mutant member of the race of superhumans known as the
period.
Really?
The dot.
He's a Titan, but I think he has a different name.
Well,
doesn't matter. It's whatever.
They should have not given him a sword at all. But if they were going to design a sword, it should have been like a good old two-hander or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like a huge, like, bastard sword.
Yep.
Give him the giant's knife from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Or like I said to you before, they should have given him 2 of those like Indian, what are they called? You hold it. It's like a punch dagger, basically. You hold it in your fist, and the dagger comes off on the top of your fist, like punch daggers like that or something, and make them energy weapons. That anything.
Yeah.
But nope.
Or just let him be a bruiser like he is.
Yeah, just punch everything.
Yeah.
That would have been so much cooler, and I would have been able to believe it a little more too. But I can't. That sword just rips me right out of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of the last two movies of that saga were pretty, like they were visually cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like nobody liked the fact that they put in Smart Hulk, and that in the very first part of Infinity War, Thanos just mops the floor with him. That was hard to watch.
Do people not like Smart Hulk?
No.
Why not?
That's not what we want to see. Like he's a thing, but I mean, I don't even know if he's from the 616.
So you want to see Hulk smash?
Yeah. Oh, no quick answer. You guys can't just give me an answer.
No.
But yeah, we want like Lou Ferrigno. We want Hulk to do what Hulk does.
Smash.
Yeah. And that would have been a cool fight. Like, yeah, they could have still had Thanos win, but make it a more interesting fight. And then have something happen to Hulk. Like, he's not in the fight then, and they have to save him. Like, that's a complete another option they could have done.
Yeah, they have a problem with, like, believable or intelligent risk or conflict in movies. It's got to be quick, because that's the plague. That's one of the plagues of the Marvel movies. There are too many characters in those last couple of movies.
Yeah.
Way too many.
Yeah.
So nobody gets time to really shine.
Yeah, the solo movies, like they are better. There's some issues with them, like the whole math issue I have with Black Panther. Cool movie, good story, great acting, but the math, that just when the car breaks apart and all this stuff, and like things are going just directions they shouldn't. There's a big blast when three people are standing on opposite sides of somebody who blasts them away, and they all land right next to each other. So two people got blown and then somehow swung around. Just
well, yeah, dude, that's just how that. Well, that's a greater gripe, because you see stuff like that in all of the movies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some are worse than others. Like Black Panther, which I still have yet to watch in its entirety, but I have seen you. You've told me about those certain scenes. I've looked up the clips. I remember that. But that's a problem in a lot of them. Like, what is it? Whatever the movie is where Scarlett Johansson's character dies. They have that side chick that she's with who like jumps in the air, and there's an explosion out of some pipe or something, and the CGI just looks incredibly bad. And she flies in a way that just like, it looks terrible, even to the naked eye without slowing it down. It just looks wrong.
Yeah, that's how I felt with all those things in Black Panther when I watched it. Like I was kind of excited to watch it. I mean, he's been one of those characters, like Black Panther himself has been one of those characters that kind of like Naruto, where you put him against any universe and Black Panther's gonna win.
Yeah.
But nope, they ruined it. It just pulled me right out of it. I was like, I can't get into this.
Well, yeah. How did they do with Black Panther overall? Like, how do you feel about the Black Panther? What is it? Movies? Are there two of them?
No, only one. They were going to do a second one, but he unfortunately passed away.
Yeah. Okay. But so, how do you feel about the Black Panther movie as a whole? Like, what are your other gripes or likes about that movie?
I like a lot of it. I like how they upgraded the suit to make it a little bit different. I didn't care for Killmonger too much. But, I mean, he looked cool. I like the other tribe that was up in the mountains. They were dope. They were done very well. The way they even did like the whole ceremony where they have to fight to see who's going to be the king. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The whole the cast for everybody was phenomenal. They did perfect there. They had Bilbo, what's his name? British guy.
Oh, I forget his name, but Bilbo. His name is Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah. Bilbo Baggins. And they had Andy's
Serkis.
Serkis. I was
Yep.
gonna call him Sudeikis, and I was like, that's not him.
Sudoku.
Yeah, Sudoku. But yeah, I mean, it was, aside from the bad math, it was a good movie.
Okay.
Like I have no issues with the story at all. It was interesting. I think they treated the characters properly. Yeah, it was done well. I mean, he was dope in Civil War too. Like they actually showed his speed too, because they had Winter Soldier and him, and then Captain America running down the street past the cars. Like that was awesome.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, didn't they underuse or underutilize one of the bad guys in the Black Panther movie, if I remember right?
Yeah, Claw. That was Andy.
Oh yeah.
They build him up like he's gonna be the big bad, but then it's like he's out, and now we're gonna focus on just Killmonger.
Well, that's sad, dude.
Yeah, it was a shame. But I mean, I would have loved to see more. I wish they would have thrown him like in a different movie as well, like kind of build him up first.
Yeah.
Because like if you build him up and give him like a full shine, and then you pull something like that, that's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to introduce him in the same movie that you just whatever him, it's sad.
It's the too many characters per movie, in my opinion. Yeah. It's unless you want to make like a 15-hour movie, it's hard to justify. It's hard to write justifiably for characters in the limited time that you get with most movies' runtime. Like if you really want to dive into a character, so it's
the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut. Just 15 hours, Yeah. No, it's like Finn from Star Wars. Put aside all the terrible, god-awful things that the sequel movies did and the writers did for them, just how terrible those movies are. One of my biggest gripes with those is you have awesome characters that are just never used, never explored, never dove into. You know what I mean? Like Finn is the best example of that, in my opinion. So I think that's kind of a greater Disney problem.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they got to slow down. Then they try to do like the Disney Plus series, which, I've watched some of them. I did like WandaVision. I thought it was cool they brought in Dick Van Dyke to help him with the early episodes.
Yeah.
So they kind of like staged after the Dick Van Dyke show. The Falcon and Winter Soldier, that one was interesting. It got hated on because of episode, I think it was 2, and they had like the police going after black people thing, and that turned a lot of people off.
Oh.
Everybody's opinion's different. They want to call it woke, they can do whatever they want.
I'm still waiting for a definition of woke.
Yeah. There was the She-Hulk show, which I don't know why they did that. There was the Loki is apparently a hit. I still need to watch it. I still need to watch Hawkeye as well.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited that they're bringing back Daredevil. That's going to be awesome. I'm not too hot on his costume. I liked what they did with Netflix, and now they're going to go to like red and yellow. Oh. And it's from the comics. Like the color scheme is from comics, but I don't really want it. But that's just me. That's just my own little personal opinion on it, which doesn't really matter.
Yeah, if enough people share that opinion, it'll definitely matter.
Yeah. It got mixed reviews on Twitter, so who knows? Well,
it's like the Wolverine costume where they CGI'd his arms back on or off or whatever in the new movie coming out with Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah, so whatever they initially released, I forget if his sleeves were on or if they were off. What was it in the old comics?
Sleeveless. It's
sleeveless.
Cut off right here. It has like a little blue ridge.
Okay, so the initial costume had sleeves for this new Wolverine Deadpool movie. People got real big mad about it, and now they CGI'd his arms over the sleeves effectively. You could see this in like a frame by frame shots of the trailer and stuff.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Especially with Hugh Jackman, because that dude works out so hard to get into Wolverine shape.
Yeah, dude. He is a huge yak man.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have more Marvel coming out. They are apparently going to be doing Civil War 2, and it's going to be led by Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah. Her movie was not good. People... that's another one where you could talk about. People did react to her poorly because of her personal statements on things. And they're keeping her. Igor, whatever his name is, he's keeping her.
I think I understand why they want to keep her. Because they're too proud and they think that because they're artistes that whatever they decide to do is the right thing to do, even though there's no right or wrong in art, unless it's like just objectively bad writing or something. But I think that she has been nothing but a like bane on the greater MCU because of her attitude towards things and her comments with stuff. And like, without going political, you could go to a point with your politics and I will be like, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right, left, whatever. I'll be like, all right, that's fine. I don't care. You're the movie guy. You're the movie girl. I want to watch the movies. But you could go too far with it and you could be just a dick about it, really. And that's how she is. She's just a dick about it. So I think they should probably just let her go.
Yep. I mean, they canceled the chick who was in the Star Wars show, Gina, starts with a C. They canceled her for less just because she was Republican.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. That was kind of surprising they did that. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, I forget what she said. It was some dumb stuff. Yeah, it's stupid. But like, was it worth canning her over? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah. But we're getting later, so let's talk about this movie we watched.
Yes,
we watched a superhero movie called Super Bob. It's a British movie.
Yep. Yeah, an aggressively British movie. Yes.
Yeah, not quite so aggressive as like Shaun of the Dead, which was very British.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's close to it. It is I thought it was just an action comedy. It is a romantic comedy.
Yep, which is a surprise.
Yeah, it caught me completely off guard. The other thing that caught me off guard is the main guy looked so much like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes where I'm sitting there like, is that just him with a British accent?
Yep, it was. Yeah, they just put some makeup on him, man.
Yeah.
No, I thought that too, but then I looked at his hair. His hair is like black. Jake Gyllenhaal's hair is like our color brown, basically. Yeah. But no, what did you think about the movie? I have some thoughts.
I really liked it. Like once I accepted the fact that it was a romantic comedy and it had the chick in it from The Office, the British lady, the redhead.
Yeah.
And then she was also in Doctor Who. I loved that part about it. But I liked the way the main guy, like Super Bob, acted. Like I liked his acting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty good. I liked the story. It was interesting. It had not a lot of comedy, but the comedy they did have was pretty solid.
Yeah.
And the whole plot points in it, like the conspiracy surrounding him, was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was good. I think it was a good romantic comedy. Do I have to watch it again? Not necessarily. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it while watching it. I just think a couple of scenes hung a little too long. They could have cut some stuff down a little bit, but that's just kind of gripey stuff. It was overall pretty good. It was a pretty good unexpected romantic comedy. And I love the idea of, it's kind of like The Boys. I mean, the movie's nothing like The Boys. But hear me out. The concept of looking at the superhero from a different angle.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So with The Boys, I like, hey, these guys would actually be dicks in real life.
Yep.
Because they would. They absolutely would be. But then I like this angle of, hey, this guy just just random stuff happened and he got superpowers. Yeah. And this is what would happen if, the dude down the street just got superpowers.
Yep.
But
yeah, it was good. That is one I recommend. Like if you have Prime, you want to have like a date night movie and you want something kind of funny that everybody can enjoy, watch that one. Yeah. Watch Super Bob.
Yeah, it's got good comedy. That chick the other chick in it, she's from Game of Thrones.
The librarian?
No, his cleaner assistant chick. She played that wildling woman in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. I thought she looked familiar. I just couldn't place her. Okay.
Yeah. She was also in one of the Harry Potter movies too.
Okay.
But yeah, and then that redhead from The Office. That was. It's always cool seeing her.
Yeah.
And then I love the portrayal of Americans.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
I want to say it was overblown, but it wasn't.
Yeah, no, so to give out some plot points, the Ministry of Defense uses Super Bob as their weapon, essentially.
Yeah,
and America is upset about that because they want the Superman. They don't want another country to have the Superman because the other country won't be using them right. And they refer to him specifically as a weapon.
Yeah, a weapon of mass destruction.
Yep.
WMD. Yeah, and that is absolutely how America would act. We would do everything in our power to get him with us.
Yep.
And they even say that in the movie. They're like, yeah, the Americans tried to poach him a couple of times.
Yeah, start framing him he came and saved some children, and then they blame him for other stuff. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's a school on fire, and he came. Yeah, he did come and save the kids from the school, but he destroyed the school.
What kind of man would do that?
It was great. I did like the movie.
Yeah.
So
I'll be watching it again with the wife this time. If I would have known it was a romantic comedy, I would have watched it with her originally, but I was thinking it's just a superhero movie. She's not going to care. Yeah.
And it's deceiving in a good way with that.
Yeah.
But no, I might watch it again then. I might put it on the list to watch with the wife. That one I might do. That's a good idea.
All right. To close out, let's do our regular. Let me get my screen shared.
Oh, yeah. The SCP.
All right. So this week we have SCP-7774. Now, when I first saw this, I instantly started thinking Doctor Who. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to have the angels.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't seem to be malicious, which is interesting. So St. Mary's Catholic, this is the special containment procedures. St. Mary's Catholic Cemetery is to be inspected for upkeep every first Sunday of a new month. Janitorial personnel are to be dispatched on site for landscaping purposes. Once per year, the cemetery is to be closed to the public for 72 hours leading to the date of June 12th under the guise of maintenance purposes. 24 hours preceding June 12th, the area surrounding SCP-7774 will be blocked from public access. So, and this is in America. So the SCP is a yearly phenomenon affecting the area of Fredericksburg, Texas. On June 12th, uniquely at 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, precisely, the SCP will animate as a humanoid structure, typically a sculpture, within the surrounding area. From discovery, the SCP has indicated a preference for using the form of an angel statue within St. Mary's Cemetery. Upon animation, the often preferred angel statue has been, the SCP has been shown to step from the pedestal manifesting life control over the statue's stone limbs. Its passive, nonverbal acknowledgement of the Foundation personnel has been previously observed. So basically, it walks across the grave, like the cemetery, and is seen kneeling, bowing, or praying over the gravesite, gently caressing the ground, weaving nearby flowers into bouquets. And in the evening, around 7 p.m., it will stand up from the grave after making a final gesture and will return back to the statue's original location.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy. I mean, it's nice that it's a friendly one, and it just ignores the actual personnel there, not trying to like kill them or anything.
Yeah, like I wonder what the thought process was behind this, like for the creator of it. Like, why does it do what it do?
Yep.
That's what I want to know, because that's the part, aside from the fact of like an angel statue just, you know, cruising around in a cemetery at night. That's creepy on its own. Yeah. But it's the why. So like when something is like malicious, I understand it, you know, like, okay, it's mean, it's mad, it's evil. But with something like this, it's nice, but I don't know why. And that to me is creepier.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe one day after they just keep watching it for year after year after year, they'll figure something out.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will update it in, you know, a little while, and we'll have a new bit of story.
Yeah, because I think that was that's all they have written here.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
Yeah. There was another one I was looking at, and I had to get off of it because the language in it was just too bad. It was about an app that will appear on any phone. Doesn't matter if it's Apple, Android, Linux, any of that nonsense. But it's an app that basically works as like a dating app for people within the Foundation.
Oh.
And it just airs their dirty secrets. And yeah, from there the language just got a little too much to be showing here.
Too dicey.
Yeah. At first I was like, okay, it's not saying anything bad. Then I was like, okay, that's like the F word 20 times. Let's not do this.
Let's move along.
Yeah. Yeah, and then some of the topics were pretty disgusting. But
I can imagine.
Yeah. So that was really it for this week's show.
Yeah.
This week for videos, Monday there is, I don't know what I put out for Monday. I think I did writing. It's the writing video.
Yeah, I think so.
What makes a good story, not really writing. At the end I talk about writing. Yeah, it's about what makes a good story. So that's one. I don't know if everybody's going to be into it, but definitely check it out, because I mean, it's true. It's what makes a good story.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And then you'll be taking Thursday duties. Yeah,
with the move and the construction going on, it's probably going to be a bit of a low effort video, but it'll be about something. I'll figure it out.
A video about something. You should just call it that. A video about something.
It might just be a ramble. I like to ramble. So a video about something. We'll just talk about stuff and things.
Yeah, I mean, Thursday I had the rant, so do a rant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we tend to do ranty, rambly videos for Thursdays. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we hope you guys have a good week. And until next time, take care.
Stay safe.